Most people wake up with a gnawing fear that they are falling behind in a race they never agreed to run. You see the titans of industry like Larry Ellison, and you feel a strange mix of admiration and terror. You wonder if you need that same level of biting aggression to secure your financial future. We are told that the market is a battlefield where only the most ruthless survive. This creates a deep spiritual friction within your soul. You want security and you want wealth, but you also want to sleep at night without the weight of the world on your chest. You fear that if you are not constantly attacking your goals, you will lose everything you have worked so hard to build. But what if the very aggression you think is your greatest asset is actually your heaviest chain? By mastering your mind, you gain a power that no competitor can touch. You will discover that the most effective way to manage your capital is not through rage or dominance, but through a terrifyingly calm clarity. Today, we examine the true price of ultimate victory and what it means for your solvency. Consider the life of Larry Ellison, a man whose net worth is measured in hundreds of billions of dollars. He built Oracle by being the most aggressive person in any room he entered. He did not just seek a larger market share, he sought the total annihilation of his rivals. His life is filled with high-stakes litigation, massive acquisitions, and the relentless pursuit of more. This is the pinnacle of the modern dream, yet it is often fueled by a profound and endless sense of lack. You have likely felt this same anxiety in your own life. You feel it when you look at your portfolio and see a sea of red on a bad day. You feel it when a colleague gets a promotion, and you feel your own purchasing power is somehow diminished. We live in a world that profits from our feeling of inadequacy. We are sold the idea that we must be in a state of constant war to protect our savings. This aggression manifests as impulsive trading, taking on excessive leverage, or obsessing over short-term gains that ultimately mean nothing. You find yourself checking stock prices every hour, as if your attention could force the numbers to rise. This is not leadership. It is a reaction to fear. Ellison is known for saying that it is not enough that he succeeds, everyone else must fail. While this mindset created a global conglomerate, it also created a world of constant enemies and internal strife. In your own financial life, this looks like comparing your house, your car, and your bank balance to those around you. You are trapped in a zero-sum game where your happiness depends on being ahead of someone else. But what happens when the economy shifts? What happens when your investments lose value despite your aggression? The weight of maintaining an image of success becomes a heavy liability that drains your spirit. If you focus on your internal control, write wealth in the comments. You must realize that true power is not found in the ability to crush others, but in the ability to remain unshaken by the external chaos of the world economy. Let us look at the wisdom of Seneca, who was one of the richest men in Rome while remaining a dedicated student of the soul. He taught that the greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. He would spend days living on basic rations and wearing simple clothes to prove to himself that his fortune did not own him. Contrast this with the modern obsession with assets and status symbols. Marcus Aurelius, the leader of the known world, reminded himself every morning that the people he met would be difficult and the events would be out of his control. He understood that his duty was to act with justice and reason, regardless of the final outcome. In personal finance, this means your goal should be the excellence of your process, not the size of the profit. Think of your wealth as a garden. You can plant the seeds, you can water the soil, and you can pull the weeds. These are your internal controls. You cannot control the sun or the rain. If you scream at the sky because it will not rain, you are acting with an aggression that is both useless and exhausting. Larry Ellison's drive is legendary, but the ancient masters would ask if he is the master of his drive, or if the drive is the master of him. Epictetus taught that some things are up to us and some things are not. Your savings rate is up to us. Your debt management is up to us. The interest rates set by central banks are not up to us. When you apply aggression to things you cannot change, you waste your vitality. When you apply discipline to things you can change, you build an indestructible foundation. Imagine a person who is so secure in their internal value that a market crash is seen as a simple change in the weather. They do not panic because their identity is not tied to their brokerage account. This is the ultimate form of aggression. It is the aggression of the mountain that stays still while the storm rages around it. It is a quiet force that does not need to shout to be felt. By aligning your capital with your character, you create a shield against the volatility of life. To build this resilience, you must first create a budget that is a reflection of your values rather than your impulses. This is not about restriction, but about the intentional allocation of your limited resources. Stop the bleeding of lifestyle creep that follows every raise or bonus. Every time your income increases, your expenses should not automatically follow. This is how you build true liquidity that provides peace. Second, you must adopt a strategy of dollar-cost averaging. This takes the ego out of investing. You are no longer trying to outsmart the market or find the perfect timing. You are simply showing up, month after month, and buying assets regardless of the noise. Third, view every purchase through the lens of opportunity cost. That luxury item is not just the price on the tag. It is the future compound interest you are sacrificing. It is hours of your life you will have to work to pay for. Fourth, manage your risk with a cold and calculating eye. Aggression in finance often looks like taking on too much debt to chase higher returns. But the master knows that the best way to win is to ensure you never get knocked out of the game. Keep a significant cash reserve to act as your shield. This allows you to stay calm when others are forced to sell their stock at the bottom. Fifth, simplify your portfolio. You do not need exotic hedge funds or complex derivatives to be successful. You need broad-based exposure to the productive capacity of the world. Finally, practice the art of enough. Define the exact amount of money you need to be free, and then stop the frantic race once you reach it. This is the most aggressive move you can make in a culture that demands you always want more. It is a total rejection of the script written for you by others. You become a sovereign individual with full control over your time. This is the only return on investment that truly matters. When you own your time, you own your life. The ghost of ambition will always whisper that you need more to be safe. It will point to men like Ellison and tell you that your peace is a sign of weakness. But do not be fooled by the glitter of gold. There is no amount of money that can buy a mind that is at war with itself. You can have all the property, the yachts, and the company shares in the world, and still wake up in a cold sweat. True wealth is the ability to walk away from a bad situation. It is the power to say no to a deal that compromises your integrity. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that you can survive any economic winter. Challenge your ego today. Ask yourself if you are building a life you enjoy or just a portfolio you can brag about. Mastery starts with the realization that you are already enough. Subscribe to Money and Stoicism to master your finances and your mind. Like this video if you seek true freedom. I am grateful for your presence on this journey of discovery and financial wisdom. We will continue to explore the deep intersection of your soul and your money. Which part of your financial life are you trying to control that is actually outside of your power? Watch the next video to continue your learning.